Hey, what is up? What it do, man? I want to give a special shout out to each and every one of you. I want to give a special shout out to my OG family and my brand new friends. Once again, I want to thank you for tapping in and allowing me, your boy HG, to be your number one source for sneaker news, streetwear news, and everything else in between that we get the yapping about. It might be random sometimes, but it's always a good time nonetheless. And I just want to thank you all for being a part of that. Now, we are a little bit behind, you know, sometimes we are a little bit behind. But the good thing about being behind is tonight there's not a lot to talk about, but there are some important things to talk about within the sneaker streetwear world. I don't know if I want to talk about like any clothing releases, which I probably should talk about more clothing releases. I guess we'll talk about one that I want you all to be up on and to know about. We'll do that. It was recently brought across my feed, so we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about some other things as well. Shout out to all of my Red Cup, Double Cup fam. Salutes to y'all. What y'all sipping on tonight? How was everybody's week last week? Everybody feeling good? I know a lot of you all saw me on Monday night, Retrovision podcast. These tariffs and things got like the internet acting bad, and I was cutting in and out, and I wasn't able to stay for a long time, but I mean, it was pretty much a good time. We talked about some things, got some straightening going on. Had a few rebuttals here and there, but nothing your boy HG couldn't handle. And speaking of, let me just make sure that my internet is right. Well, right enough to give you all a solid broadcast. Okay. So the live is looking pretty good without any skips. If at any point during the live it stops, freezes, or skips, please, y'all let me know, because I want to bring you all the best quality possible. And I guess I'm going to have to get like a router amplifier to kind of boost the signal. Y'all know how it is in houses and things like that. If you can't get a strong enough Wi-Fi signal, or if the Wi-Fi is not doing good enough, all these tariffs, man, forcing the internet and Wi-Fi companies to go overseas, and they kind of just like skipping out on good quality now. But if at any point during the live it skips or anything like that, please, fam, let me know. Now, with that being said, again, if you don't know who I am, I'm HG. My channel is Homegrown Kicks. I want to welcome you all to my channel. The lives that we do on Tuesday nights are Tuesday night Soul Source lives. If you want to follow me on all forms of social media platform, you can follow me first and foremost on Instagram. That's homegrown_kicks. Everything else I mentioned is Homegrown Kicks, with the exception of Spotify. Spotify is where I put a lot of these lives on under the name of Soul Source, so that you all can listen to these lives in your vehicle or wherever you are if you weren't able to participate, without going through all the trials and tribulations of searching on YouTube. Spotify, I figure, is a little bit easier for if you just want to listen to me talk. But anything else other than that, like Twitch, we are currently streaming to Twitch. Shout out to all of my Twitch viewers and Twitch followers. We are on Facebook. We are on TikTok. We are on Blue Sky. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter. And everywhere else you can think of, we are there. The family goes far and wide, and you all show up and you all show out. The thing that we have to do is get more people to the family. We got to push more people to the family, and I got to do my job as well. So that all does not fall on you all, and I appreciate you all for doing what you all have been doing, which is watching, liking the videos, sharing the videos, and engaging. Engagement is one of the biggest things that helps the most. So I thank you all for that. Now, Before we get into the rest of tonight's live, so I did a thing. And I want to ask you all about it. I want to ask you all if you all think I'm crazy for doing this. So you all know I got the kind of janky bootleg, we in this together kind of set. I got the computer sitting on a box. I am currently my comfort chair is not a chair at all. It is a mobile toolbox. So we kind of thugging it out. But that never stops the show. That never stops good content. Tyrone Turner Sr., aka True Side, said, "What up, bro?" Man, what up, Tyrone Turner, man? It's good to see you, man. I'm glad to see you. Glad to have you here on the live. It's been a minute. I hope everything has been good. As a matter of fact, let me ask you, how has everything been? And how's the family doing? Hoping everything is good. What are some of you all's sneaker pickups that you all are looking forward to in the ending part of April and through the month of May? Because we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about some sneaker releases, some things that I want to, get out there really quickly in case you all are interested, some things that you might have forgotten about, or, just some up and coming things within the next 24 to 72 hours, so on and so forth. But like I said, with the setup, we thugging it out. Computer on a box, and my chair is a mobile toolbox. But I was searching for like good chairs. You know what I'm saying? Like some good chairs, and I was searching on the interwebs, on Google's, and they pointed me in the direction of Secretlab. Now, like I was looking at Secretlab, and Secretlab has some interesting stuff, some stuff that I'm interested in, and they had some stuff on sale. So I went ahead and like did some pre-manifesting, and I mean they were pretty decent price. But Secretlab, as you can see right here, Naruto Shippuden. So if you all are familiar with anime, you all know Naruto. Naruto is one of my most favorite animes of all time. A lot of people argue what their favorite animes are. What are your top animes? If you watch anime, you don't mind me asking, what are your top animes? Because some of my favorite animes are Naruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam series. What else? Bleach is another one. Black Clover, Solo Leveling is at the, quickly shooting at the top of the list. And of course, Dragon Ball Z. How can you forget about Dragon Ball Z? I do have another Instagram called Some Old Guy's Toy Collection where I do toy reviews. I don't talk about that. Actually, I might have never talked about that. But if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. But I purchased this item right here for Secretlab. I think it's like a lower back thing. I thought it was like a pillow, but yeah, I did that. And no, I don't have the chair yet, but I bought this in hopes of someday getting the actual chair and then another Naruto piece for the chair. So a little bit of hoping and wishing, manifesting, and then trying to make something happen. Hopefully we'll make that happen down the line. But yes, trying to figure something out with this setup, and then get ready to do a sneaker room creation video. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into some of the things that I had planned for us tonight to talk about. Like I said, we're going to be here for a good time, but probably not a long time. Because like I said, it's some pretty quick topics, nothing out of the way, nothing too crazy, but some topics nonetheless. And the first one is with Nike sneakers. Let me go ahead and pull this up on the screen for y'all. Let me make sure I get this right. Let me know if y'all can see that. I can see it. Hopefully you all can see it. Ooh, it's a little warm in here. But let me make sure y'all can get my now I'll get down here at the bottom. I don't mind. But the Nike sneakers app. Now we talked about some of these things beforehand last week. And I think I did 2 lives last week. I didn't do 2 lives this week. Maybe I'll do another one sometime this week. Maybe a reminder, maybe a live cop, something like I don't know. But we talked about this last week. So the first thing I want to remind you about is the reimagined UNC Jordan 1 highs. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these. I like them. Let me start off by saying I like the UNC Jordan 1 highs. How many of you out there in the chat like the UNC Jordan 1 highs? Like, what are your actual pure thoughts about this shoe? Because I'm going to tell you what I like about it. I'm going to tell you what I don't like about it. So, I like that they're continuing the reimagined, the reimagined lost and found kind of thing. I really do like that. Because the lost and found theme setup is a great start. It's a great way to give the OG kind of look, because like we all know, the 85 versions of these, or the latter versions of these, have a completely different shape. But it's good to give everybody a piece of that classic shoe without people having to buy that extremely old shoe, that love that vintage look. This is more for the people, the Lost and Found Reimagined series is more for those people that like that vintage look. A lot of us like the new look, but a lot of us like the vintage look as well. And we buy the new look because that's basically what we have to settle on. So I do like the fact that they're trying to, give us that patina look. I myself like vintage items. I like new items, all of those kind of things. Now, I would be lying to you if I said like I was a huge fan of the UNC colorway, because like this in particular, I was not a huge fan of it when they retroed in, I believe, like 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. I didn't go for these. I was not interested in these. Not one iota whatsoever. These were not of interest to me. How do I feel about them now? They're okay. They are okay. It's not a bad colorway. Again, they're okay. Still not my cup of tea. I like the cracked leather around the ankle collar. I like the faded blue look because, well, I'll talk about the blue look in a minute. But as you can see, from the top of the ankle collar up here to the rest of the shoe, you get the gradient look, because as you can see around the top lace eyelets and the top portion of the ankle collar, it's a darker blue than the rest of the shoe to represent the gradient fade. So that's pretty dope. The gradient fade over time. I love that. I love the cream aged accent panels. I love the aged midsole, and it's not just like a cream midsole, it's an actual aged midsole, because a lot of times their way early on, Nike's way of doing the aged midsole was a cream midsole. And I think along the way, they're starting to kind of perfect that aged look, especially after seeing a lot of influencers being able to do the aged look better with like the markers and the coffee, dunking the shoes in coffee and stuff like that. I think Nike has kind of got an idea of the look that collectors really want. Lil Titan said, "Yo, what's good? G, what's good, Lil Titan, man? Glad to see you, man. What's going on? How's your day going?" Tyrone Hunter Sr. said, "I dig them, but a pass for me." Lil Titan said, I heard you say, I like you. I want. All right, Lil Titan said, these are dope. I'll be getting these. Don't care if nobody is feeling them. What's good, TT? So yeah, I like these UNC Jordan 1s. And I might be trying to get them. It just depends. To be honest with you all, it just depends. I might be trying to get them to do a review, to try to catch me up and give me something current as far as like release videos and things like that. So I might be trying to get them depending. I said depending. Now, let me talk about one of the reasons why I don't like these. One of the reasons why I don't like it is because this is not the exact color of the UNCs. If you know the color of the UNCs, you know, and the UNCs are a little to a lot darker than these, but again, they're not supposed to be dark like the original UNCs because it is an aged look. Like you had them in the shoebox, you put them in a closet, or you put them up under your bed, and they've been sitting there for an extremely long time. The color has faded and all of that. It's basically a worn, aged look without them being worn and aged. I understand that. But if I was going to get a UNC, I would prefer to get the actual UNC color and then age it and fade it myself through wear. Do I think this should stop you from buying the shoe? Absolutely not, because it's a great shoe. $180 retail is the price. The Terrors have not like knocked these sky high into the $200 price range. So again, that's another reason why you should definitely get them before these tariff prices causes these shoes to go up and you start seeing ridiculous prices, because it's coming. It's absolutely coming. It's on the way. So that's another factor. There are more positives as to why you should get this shoe than negatives. There is a large number of pairs of these that are getting ready to release. Pairs are already on StockX, GOAT, resellers of all kind already have pairs. So you know they're going to be cheap on the resale market. These are going to be cheap nonetheless. So for any other reason to get them, because they're going to be cheap. May 10th is the release day for these shoes. So don't be afraid to try and get you like a pair of these when they are available. I would highly suggest you get you a pair. And yeah, that is my take on the UNC, because I mean, look, it's got the aged outsole, all that good kind of stuff. The aged uppers, they look really nice from the top. I like that toe box because and I don't know, it might just be the pictures, but the toe box looks kind of like the larger long toe box that you would see on the Bread 85s. And speaking of the Bread 85s, do not forget that they are doing they say it's not a re-release, but they're doing a more upgraded, more extra added on release of the Bread 85s come October, because October is band month, to signal the actual month in which the Jordan Breads, or as we know it, the black and red airships, were actually banned. So but yes, it kind of has that band 85 toe box. And then it's got the cushioned ankle collar. That looks really comfortable. Oh, thank you. That looks really comfortable. That looks like a good idea. Another reason to actually later. Another reason to actually pick up the shoe. side profile. It's pretty nice. So something to really think about on May 10th. Now, let's go back. You already saw this, and I know a lot of people are tired of hearing about these. What is this? This weekend sneakers? What are they talking about? Let me click on this. Okay. Imagined with Nike Air. Okay. I want to. Oh, I like those. Okay, so these are basically like concept photos from different individuals. Okay. And I promise y'all, this part was not planned. I never really look at this week on sneakers because it kind of seems like a waste to me. But while we're here, we're here. Yeah, those poles. Yeah. Let's go forward. Women's Air Max craze. What do you all think about this Air Max craze? Like from certain angles, it doesn't look bad. Then from other angles, it's like a hell no. And then it's like, I don't know. I mean, to have your heel, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. I'm going to let you all be the judge of those. But I get, okay, so it shows the drop of what's coming for the week. Okay. That's cool. Now, getting back to what I was going to talk about. I know you all are tired of the Travis Scotts. I know a lot of you are tired of hearing about Travis Scott. I know a lot of you said that I got to find a place to put my pizza. That's what that was brought to me, some pizza. I appreciate it. I know a lot of you are tired of hearing about the Travis Scotts. I know a lot of you are hating the Travis Scotts. Lil Tight said, no way. Cross-dressing. Hell no. That's funny. But you know what? One thing I've noticed about the sneaker community and the sneaker culture as a whole is when it comes to Travis Scott's, in the beginning, they'll say it's trash, they hate it, there's no way I'm gonna buy it, yada yada yada. And they will say that all the way up until the day before release day. They'll say that all the way up until 3 hours before release day or an hour before release day. And then when release time happens, you all are right there in your Nike sneakers app, logging in and trying to get a pair. And then when you see, or when you don't get them, you're posting the fact that you didn't get them on social media, on Instagram, on X. Like, make it make sense now. And even though, and it goes beyond resale value or trade bait value. It goes way beyond that because you don't see very many pairs of a lot of Travis Scott's going up for trade bait value unless you're trying to trade it for something like really crazy, hoping you can catch a Travis Scott super fan that will give up like a shoe of greater value in the community's opinion for a Travis Scott based on the fact that they're a Travis Scott super fan. But what are your thoughts of the Travis Scott Bright Cactus? And let's be honest, because we talked about these last week. Let's be honest. Now, I don't know how many of you all are familiar with Bullet RC. Bullet RC says all the time that everybody in the sneaker game has that one shoe. Well, they release so many shoes, it's always more than one, but everybody in the sneaker game has those shoes as they come across, that ugly shoe that regardless of the fact of how ugly it is fire to them. For whatever reason, they love it. Regardless of how ugly it is, they love it. For me, going off the general consensus of how people feel about the Jumpman Jacks, a lot of people say these are ugly. regardless of the colorway. It's just an ugly shoe. So going off of that, I like the Jumpman Jacks. This is the ugly shoe for me. Now, granted, this colorway is not the best colorway. If I had to rate this on the scale of Jumpman Jacks that have released so far, with the first release of the brown and cream pair, and then the cream pair with the red Nike swoosh, and then the brown pair, these would more than likely, I ain't even gonna say probably, but these would without a doubt be the very last pair that I would go for. But a pair that I would go for nonetheless, because I got a shirt that goes with this colorway. I already know how I can swag this shoe. Now, these are shoes that you would wear with shorts, but you all know your boy HG don't wear shorts. So this is a shoe that I'm going to wear with pants, and I already know how I'm going to swag these with pants. I love the silhouette. I love the design. It is a cross between a tennis shoe, being the Mac Attacks, or currently known as the Attacks, because they don't want to pay John McEnroe for any kind of residuals or anything like that by naming it the Mac Attacks. But it is a cross between the Attacks and the Bo Jackson trainers. It is a low top Bo Jackson trainer attack crossover, and I love it. A lot of people hate the over the foot strap. Why? It's not egregious to me. I like it. We are constantly asked for something different. When they give us something different, we stick our tongues out. We throw out the turd emojis, and we disapprove until some influencer puts on a 5 fit and dresses them up nice. Then we fall in love with them. But that's just my opinion. Don't let my opinion influence you. I like these. What is the temperature for these? These are set to drop on April 30th. That is tomorrow at 10 a.m. at a retail price of $200. Now, let me be honest. I don't agree with the $200 price tag. I've never agreed with the $200 price tag. At most, this is a $180 shoe, especially in this colorway. This is $180 all day, every day. But you get the presentation, you get the dust bag, you get like the really nice insert paper. And I know the insert paper doesn't really matter, but the box is of a really nice, thick quality box. You get the really nice, dope dust bag and all of the nice design elements that come with the Jumpman Jack. So, I mean, I guess you could say it's a $200 shoe. No more than that. To be honest, I would cap out at $200 cap. I would, take it how you want. I would max out at $200 on this, even though I still have a problem or feel an issue with paying $200 for this, because the level of detail and design that Nike gives us with this and that Travis Scott gives us with this, they should have been doing that amount of detail at $180 or a little bit cheaper. Lil Titan got all the smirky emojis and the eye roll emojis. I feel you, man. I feel you. But yes, these are dropping April 30th, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. West Coast time. So all my people on the West Coast that are listening, West Coast time, I think Pacific time, I think they're like an hour or 2 hours behind. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but go off of that 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Mountain Pacific time. So let me know what you think about the T-Rexes, how you feel about those. I just figured I would ask, catch the temperature. I did enter the raffle on the Travis Scott website for the Jumpman Jacks. And the funny thing is I actually got an email at 7 p.m., literally an hour later after I entered the raffle, to purchase these. But I didn't see the email notification until 3 hours after they sent me the notification. And by the time I checked it, they were all sold out. A first time that I've ever gotten a purchase notification from the Travis Scott website, and I took a L. Now, the next one releasing on April 1st. No, not April 1st. I'm sorry. Redact that. May 1st is the Kobe. What is that? Kobe 6? No, what is no Kobe 9 Protro EM Mambacitas. What do you all think about this? You know what? Like, I'm not a huge fan, and I said all day, every day. I'm not a huge fan of all Kobe's. The only Kobe that I have is the Kobe reverse Grinches, the Kobe 6 Protro reverse Grinches, and that was only because I like the colorway. This is not a terrible colorway, but the silhouette is not my favorite. It's not a bad silhouette whatsoever, but I feel like leave this to the real Kobe fans. This is a dedication shoe to his daughter Gigi. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi. It has her name on the back, and it's got her jersey number 2. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at a retail price of $180. What I really love about this shoe is the gradient from like gray to black with the proper hits of gold, and then the marble look on the midsole and the outsole. Like this is a beautiful shoe. This is a beautiful shoe, but regardless of whether it's a beautiful shoe or not, it's not a shoe for me. It's not a shoe for me. I'm going to leave this for the Kobe fans. But May 1st is the Kobe 9 Protro EM Mambacitas, a nod to his daughter, Gigi. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the Black History Month Nike Dunk Low Rodeo. So I know you all like Black History Month. Black History Month ended in February. Now we're in April, going into May. Well, unfortunately, it's not up to me. It's all up to Nike Sneakers. And Nike Sneakers pushed this shoe back for whatever reason. They pushed it back because it was supposed to be at the end of February. And then they said it was going to be in between week 1 and week 2 of March. Then it never happened. And people like me were thinking that it was never going to happen. Then we get into April, and they drop little hints of the Black History Month Dunk Lows, and they did it through like Instagram, showing images of people who already had pairs, because pairs have already gotten out there. Nothing new, nothing different, nothing unusual. Now, what is this? Almost 3 months later, and here they are finally dropping. Hold on, let me go ahead and pull this up and share it with y'all. Let me let y'all see these. Nike SB Dunk Low Rodeo. This is to bring or pay homage to Cowboys of Color. I don't know if they're still going with that theme or whatever. What the new, if they created a new story, I don't know what the new story is. But the original story was to represent cowboys of color in the current, what's known as U.S. Now, as you can see, this says release date July 5th, 2025. And I'm guessing that is a release date. Only thing I can guess is that's a release date for Nike sneakers, which I don't know why they would do that, but if you want a pair, they are currently on GOAT and StockX. I don't know what the resale price is or the aftermarket price for these are, but I guarantee you they're going to be at least $100 to $200 above retail. Retail is $130, and if you actually go look for this shoe and look up this shoe, it comes with some pretty cool extras. If I can get a hold of a pair, y'all know I'm going to do a review for this. Come on now. Y'all know I'm going to do a review for this. Not only will it be one of the very few SBs that I have in my collection, it will be one of the very few SBs that I hit for retail, and it will be one of the very few SBs that kind of like speaks to me personally. But it's got a bunch of cool extras, a bunch of awesome hidden meanings, and some really great materials, which are synonymous with the SB brand. So it says the sneakers release is Wednesday, May 7th. So I don't know where they got July 5th up here, but it is what it is. But down here it says Wednesday, May 7th. So be out on the lookout on Nike sneakers on May 7th. They might release these through the new like special link program that Nike is trying to do to get like the shoes in the hands of people that actually care. Keep that in mind. I don't know, but as soon as I find out, you're guaranteed to know. So follow me on homegrown_kicks on Instagram to stay up to date. That's all I can say. Now, as far as online raffles, this is what I wanted you all to be up on and know. This was like the most important thing about this release. So, this is currently for May 1st through May 7th, the online raffle list. Now, I'm pretty sure the closer it gets to May 7th, the list will grow. But currently giving you all a heads up ahead of time option, you have Premier. And they're going to be doing, apparently they're going to be doing that raffle on May the 1st. It closes in 2 days. So you got 48 hours to enter the raffle on Premier. APB is also doing a raffle, which closes in 8 days. Their raffle is on May 7th at 9 a.m. And then you have, I think this place is called Rust. No, it's called Barracks Cantina or the Barracks Canteen, and their raffle is on May 7th, and it ends at 3 p.m. So those are 3 places that currently have open raffles for you to enter online. You don't have to go in store. If you want an opportunity to get the Nike SB Dunk Low Rodeo Black History Month Dunk Lows at a suggested retail price of $130. Now, if you all don't know what the raffle entry is going to look like, let me show you what the raffle entry will look like. So I've already filled out a raffle entry for all 3 of these places. Hold on, let me go ahead and bring these raffle entries into view for anybody that does not know. And anybody's watching, if you don't know how I got to this, all I did was go to Google and I typed in raffle for Nike SB Dunk Low Rodeo. And this popped up via sneaktorious.com. And all I did was click on the links and it sent me straight to the raffles. I didn't have to do anything extra. So there you go. I'll leave this up to the count of 10. For anybody that wants to just look at it and make sure they know where to go. All right, 10 seconds is up. Let me get to showing you all what the actual raffle entry will look like. Stop that screen. And I hope this doesn't give all of my personal information. Okay, so this is what one of the raffle entries is going to look like. Now, the raffle entries are done through EQL. I don't know how many people are familiar with EQL, but EQL is a middleman service that is supposed to be able to facilitate a more fair way of getting to the shoes that you want. Now, whether we agree with EQL or not is left up to you, but this is what an EQL raffle entry will look like, and this is for APB. So as you can see, for APB, it says Nike SB Dunk Low Pro Tro. You're going to click from the page I showed you before, you're going to click the link. It's going to bring you to a raffle information form to fill out. In that information form, you're going to put your name, your email address, your address. You're going to put your card information there if it's not already on file. My information is already on file with APB. And then you're going to select your size. Once you select your size and you hit enter raffle, it's going to automatically put you an entry in to try to get the shoe that you want. This is for any EQL raffle, any raffle system that you enter through EQL. So then once you are entered into the raffle, you're going to get this notification that says you're in. Now, I once thought that this was the case, but I found out with one of the raffle entries that it is not the case. Not all raffle entries will give you a confirmation email saying that you have entered the raffle. It just is what it is. Some do it, some don't. I ran into that trying to enter this raffle, but it's going to say entry for one Nike SB Dunk Low or whatever you're trying to enter into. It's going to show the size that you entered the raffle for to make sure that you got the correct size. It's going to say the day that you entered the raffle. It gives you the price, which is $135, suggested retail price, and then it's going to give you the cost of shipping. Now, every single store is different with how they charge you on shipping. Some charge $10, some charge $16, some charge $24, some charge $25. $25 seems to be the cap at where they charge you for shipping. APB seems to be charging $16 for shipping. So that's $135 retail plus $16 shipping, which comes out to about what? $152. $152 with all of that included. I don't know if that's with tax included. I think they add tax afterwards. I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've won an EQL raffle. But if you go further down right here, it says run fair fee. Run fair fee. Run fair is EQL. For this raffle, and again, it's different for every single raffle. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I don't know. EQL seems to charge convenience fees based on the release. I've seen because that's basically what it is. It's a convenience fee. I've seen convenience fees as low as like $3. I've seen convenience fees as high as like $10. Now they call it a run fair fee to kind of trick you so that you don't look at it as a convenience fee. But from what I've heard and from what I've seen, a lot of people end up kind of disputing that run fair fee charge and making cases or arguments against it. And a lot of people have gotten that charge dropped. So, like, if you're going to drop that charge, why even put it up there in the first place? Don't ask me why. I don't know. It is what it is. And then at the bottom, it'll show you what your subtotal should be. So after everything is said and done, my subtotal should be $157.08 from $135 to $157. That is literally a $22 fee after all is said and done. Now, is that bad for a shoe that I really want? $22, I spend $22 on crap anyway. So how bad does that really hurt me? But I don't know you all's circumstances. So yeah, when you enter EQL raffle, this is what you should expect. So look at it, learn it, understand it, because EQA is another way of getting sneakers that you want. It is a new wave. It started last year, and it's going to continue for the foreseeable future. Now, I will say this. If you do not win the raffle, EQL supposedly gives you points that add up that is supposed to help you get a better place in line for the next raffle that EQL does that you enter into. A lot of people have disputed that, so on and so forth. I don't know. It's not my job to dispute that, but it is what it is. Now, getting into the next thing. Nike is on, I don't know. This is really going to test how ignorant and gullible the sneaker community really is. Because Nike is taking a classic, iconic shoe and pretty much trying to see what we're really going to, what we are really willing to deal with. Now, for a fraction of a second, we had that whole, dirty sneaker vibe kind of thing to deal with. And it came and went. As quickly as it came, it quickly left. And Nike is trying to see how far they can push us by selling us pre-dirtied Air Force Ones. As you can see by the title, it says Nike is selling Air Force Ones that get cleaner the more you wear them. So where in future past, Nike Air Force Ones came clean, and then you would wear them and you would wear them and they would get dirty, and you know who we talking about, and they would look like shit. All of my YT young ladies, you all have become synonymous with dirty Air Force Ones, but Nike would sell dirty Air Force Ones and they would get cleaner. Here is kind of the reverse idea that they're going with to try to, I don't know, to me, I'm not going to lie to you. To me, this is just a whole
bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. Bullshit.
Because how do you start off with something dirty? Wear it. when you wear it, it naturally gets dirty. So how do you start off with something dirty and wear it and it gets clean? So what? Are you going to have an extremely clean Air Force One with a bunch of damn creases in it? And we know when Air Force Ones get creases in it, they are nasty looking. They are through. And then these aren't even regular Air Force Ones, because if you look at them, they have the little Nike swoosh on there. Like regular Air Force Ones, G Bezos, Uptowns, they don't have the swoosh on the side. Are you serious? Like, we would look at these as boo-foos or knockoffs. And we're going to talk about them boo-foos later on down the line. Because I know you, well, not too far later on down the line, but pretty soon. Because I know y'all saw the thumbnail. I know y'all saw the thumbnail, and I know the thumbnail drew y'all in, and you really want to know what's going on. But can anybody, chat, can you explain to me, how does a shoe get cleaner with wear? That just does not make sense to me. And it says right here, Air Force One, dirty triple white, swoosh.nike. So this is a swoosh.com kind of release. ... But you're only scratching the surface. Here is the Nike Air Force One dirty triple white. The more you wear it, the more beautiful it becomes. The more you wear it, the more beautiful it becomes.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
What?
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
The more you wear it, the more beautiful it becomes. Check. How? This is the Air Force One we're talking about. It's that simple. It's black and white. We put a toothbrush in there too, in case you want to take things into your own hands. Do your thing. So this pair of Air Force Ones comes with a toothbrush. What? So not only are you telling me that the more you wear these, the better they look. Air Force Ones now, keep that in mind. Air Force Ones. You're telling me the more you wear them, the better they look. You included a toothbrush?
Look, I don't want no problem. Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
I've never known an Air Force One to get better with wear. Why do you think we have trends in the sneaker community where people buy multiple pair of Air Force Ones, wear them once or twice, and get rid of them? We just talked about that like a month or two ago of an Atlanta-based rapper that basically wears at least 4 pairs every 12 hours. That's not a coincidence, Nike. Come on now. It says, and then a toothbrush. I can't get over the fact that they're including a toothbrush with these shoes. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I read this, but hey, it is what it is. It says, make these Air Force Ones your own personal time machine. How would I make these a time machine? Dirty triple white and triple black. So they're doing the, how do you make all black Air Force Ones look dirty? So they're doing the white, they're doing white pair and they're doing black pair. Drop on May 7th exclusively on sneakers, the US only. So this is a US only release because they know only Americans are dumb enough to go with this idea. What? How do you make triple black Air Force Ones look dirty, and then the more you wear them, they get cleaner?
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
This idea is the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. And I mean, I would say that, I would see what's up with these just to see how it goes. What's I said, LOL. I would say I would get a pair just to see how this goes. And I might try to get a pair of these to see if they can be cleaned and to see if, like, you can make them look good. But I mean, something tells me this is a cash grab. But speaking of getting sneakers clean, if you have any dirty sneakers and you need to get your sneakers clean, feel free to head over to rejuvenator.com. Use my promo code homegrown_kicks. Saves you 10% on anything you purchase. And Rejuvenator has you covered for anything you need for your sneaker care, sneaker cleaning needs. Whether it be rain and stain repellent to keep the dirt, doo-doo, and BS off of your sneaks. And there's a lot of BS going on in 2025, especially with the state of the country and everything that's going on. Prices are going up. Who knows when you'll be able to get your next pair of shoes? So cherish those pair of shoes and keep them lasting for as long as possible with Rejuvenator. Head over to rejuvenator.com. They have sole protectors, rain and stain repellent, mink oil to reset that nap on suede when your suede sneakers get crunchy and nasty. They have a special cleaning solution that not only cleans your shoes, but rejuvenates it and refreshes the leathers and the suedes with the coconut oil that's infused in the cleaning solution. Hey, I would not get behind it if I did not believe in it myself. I'm going to be showing you all how good this product is. Now, it is a little pricey, but my question to you is, how much are you willing to pay, or do you think the product is worth it if it does exactly what it says and extends the longevity of whatever it is you are buying? I ask you that question seriously. So again, head over to rejuvenator.com, look for yourself, type in the code homegrown_kicks. It saves you 10%. It helps me out a little bit, but more so it helps you out a lot. I'm telling you, a lot. You get what you pay for. I'm not bullshitting you all. Rejuvenator.com. Also, if you want to prevent creases in your kicks, head over to CreaseGuard.com. Type in homegrown in the checkout discount code portion, and it will save you 35% off. Plus, you get an additional pair of sneaker shoe shields. Now, I have an update on CreaseGuards and how they perform, and I will be doing a video on that as well. So be on the lookout for that, so you all will know exactly what you all are getting. But I still suggest, if you want to keep the creases out of your shoes, especially with what's going to happen in the current economy with prices rising, and I know a lot of us want to keep our shoes clean and protected for as long as possible, consider going to CreaseGuards.com. But like I said, I've never met or seen an Air Force One that gets better with wear. To show you all an idea of what is supposed to happen with these shoes, let's go ahead and check these out. This comes from Complex. Now, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Complex. It is what it is, but they do give some pretty insightful information and some pretty good news and keeping us up to date via Brendan Dunn. He actually has a pair of these Air Force Ones, and he's given us, you know, the insight on what it's supposed to do. I will minimize myself to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen so that you all can see. Let's go ahead and check these.
We know you're going to be mad at this one. Nike's Dot Swoosh division is fully embracing the dirty white Air Force One meme. Dot Swoosh does drops related to gaming and internet culture, hence them referencing all those infamous images you see of cooked Air Force Ones online. There's a little toothbrush attached to these. They literally made a pair that comes right out of the box. The catch is you have to clean them. The idea is that if you wear the shoe, the faux aging fades away into an actual clean sneaker. We don't have the time for all that, so we just grabbed the magic eraser and got to scrubbing in order to make the shoes clean. For what it's worth, Nike tells us that you really have to wear the shoe in order to get the dirty exterior to fade off. Like, you can scratch it, but apparently it's easier to wear away manually. We even tried to hit it with some Windex to see if that did the trick any better. Despite us working very hard on scrubbing the shoe, we got to say we couldn't get the Air Force One significantly cleaner. Maybe we really got to beat them up, wear them to Coachella or something to get the clean layer. Not gonna lie, after doing all this, it kind of feels like we got tricked, like Nike trolled us into cleaning their sneakers. And to be honest, that totally makes sense for a meme sneaker like this smoked out Air Force One. Like, this is the final product and you can barely tell the difference between the shoe we cleaned and the shoe we didn't. The Dirty Triple White releases exclusively on May 7th sneakers in the US for $130. We know you're going to be mad at this one. Nike's Dot.
I know I'm not the only one that does not see a difference in this damn shoe. Like, the outside world is filthy. And Lil Tight with the laughing emoji. That's how I felt. The goofy emoji, the goofy nerd emoji, and the laughing emoji. I mean, that's how I felt looking at this shoe. And Brendan Dunn does confirm that they come with a toothbrush. Now, again, maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe my brain is not clicking on this whole concept. The world is dirty. The outside world is dirty. Brand new sneakers get dirty wearing them out. So how is it that they're trying to sell you on this point that if you wear these sneakers out in the dirty world, they get cleaner with wear? Maybe I mischecked. Maybe you all can explain something to me that I'm missing. Because I don't see it. I don't see it. And what's the retail price of these? What is the suggested retail price? Let's go ahead. Now that we talked about it, let's look at this suggested retail price really quickly. I don't know if you all can see it, but it says Nike is crazy for this one. The latest release from their Dot Swoosh division is the Air Force One Dirty Triple White, a shoe that looks like it's been stomped out and worn for months. The sneaker looks filthy, brand new out of the box. Nike says the shoe's dirty look is part of a scratch away exterior that gets cleaner, crispier with the more you wear. So we tried to clean them up. The Air Force One Dirty Triple White releases on May 7th for a retail price of $130 exclusively via Nike sneakers in the US. Again. When? I wish I had a WTF button because
This shit is crazy as fuck, nigga.
I'm really on that. WTF was the last time you saw an Air Force One get cleaner and crispier the more you wore it. And I feel like I'm looking at the proof right here via Complex and Brendan Dunn. I'm looking at the proof right here, but I'm really interested. I don't know. Like, this is trolling at the highest level, and I feel like a dumbass because I'm kind of hooked on this. It's got like creases in it too. I'm kind of hooked into this. And I don't know what it is. Like Nike is the best marketer in the world and the best, like the best troll in the world. I want to buy a pair to see if the experience may vary. Like, and I know I'm walking into this.
And y'all dumbasses fell for it.
Like, this is some bullshit.
And y'all dumbasses fell for it.
And I feel like if I buy this, I'm going to be one of the dumbasses that fell for it, even though I know better. I really know better. Little Titan said, still got my DS Ice Blue Air Force One from 2008. Jesus. I'm good. That was the last time I bought some Air Force Ones. Okay, so the last time I bought some Air Force Ones was 2004. Now, if you want to be technical about it, whenever the sweetest swing in the game pack came out, I bought the Ken Griffey Jr. Air Force Ones because, let's be honest, those were fire. But they were too big, so I sent them back. So I don't have any Air Force Ones in the collection. I have Air Force Ones that I was given that I'm going to clean up and give away or maybe sell for like $30 or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I have a pair, but it's been a long time since I bought a pair. Nike just wants to prove a point that people will buy anything. That's innovative. I would say so. I would say that they're just trying to prove a point to see how dumb people are and what people will buy. Cortez isn't done cooking. Now, if you're all unfamiliar, the Cortez Air Max 95 recently released. People were going crazy. I don't think they've released on Nike Sneakers app yet, but he's got a full merch line. He had the I don't know if they're called the Huarache highs, but he had a Huarache looking shoe. Those did well. And I believe he had another shoe that did really well. So shout out to Cortez. I don't know how many people went for him, won him, or what. But shout out to Cortez nonetheless. Now, getting on. Little Titan said, we're going backwards. I have to agree. I definitely have to agree with you. We are definitely going backwards as far as, you know, innovation and things like that. Now, on to some other BS. So, a local pawn shop owner, and follow me here. Follow me here because this feeds into the thumbnail. And this is a setup for my point. So stay with me because I promise you it's good. I promise you. I promise you it's good. Stay with me. Stay with me, fam. Stay with me. Let's see. I don't want that one. Okay. So this is the pawn shop owner. I want you all to look at this. If you all know and follow me, and you all have been following me and watching the lives, you know where this is going to head. But I want you all to see this real quick.
I mean,
Yeah, for
sold
sure.
the chain for a decent price.
Yeah.
But they got you on the cross, so I can get these crosses made, and I know what the
What
cost
rates
of
are.
the
Yeah,
gold
for
and
sure.
the diamonds.
It's just the stamp I'm paying for.
That's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
you're paying for.
Yeah.
Just like how designer pieces.
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, if you're buying like Cartier,
Yeah.
Van Cleef.
So this dude is bringing his stuff to the pawn shop.
It's not real.
How can you tell?
You want me to begin?
Yeah, sure. Because
First and foremost, this is technically supposed to be 18 karat.
Okay.
It's not.
How can you tell?
Just the material.
Okay.
Stainless steel.
Okay.
The weight is absolutely incorrect.
Oh my god.
But
Brutal.
dead giveaways.
Okay, tell me.
All right.
Yeah.
You see the little logo, the Rolex engraved on the glass?
Yeah.
That's completely crooked.
Oh,
It's tilted to the right. The glass is to the left. Look at the markings.
okay.
They're all off. They're supposed to be you see the indicator?
Okay, yeah.
Each one's to the top. This one's off. The date is smearing.
Well, it's so long ago. I didn't even. Oh my god.
It's glued on there.
Are you serious,
Yeah.
bro?
Look at the weight of that watch.
It's hard because there's nothing that was comparable to this. Crazy, man.
And I deal with Rolexes, but that's why when you said Skydoor, first thing when you said that, I was like, that's the first thing I want to see. You know.
Because I got this 5 years ago when I got it appraised. I only bought it.
Yeah,
I went to
whoever you appraised it by, you should actually you should probably file a complaint. Tell them that I had it. I mean, it's complete. It's a dead giveaway.
Okay.
As soon as I held it, not only held it, but as soon as you handed it over to me from this profile, look at the bezel.
Okay.
That bezel is completely incorrect.
Okay.
The back case is completely wrong.
Okay.
The material. Look at the.
So holy shit! This video is via an Instagram account known as the Reliable Pawn Broker. Now I know that is an oxymoron in the eyes of the people. Pawn shops? How reliable are pawn shops really? But this guy took a watch that he bought a couple of years ago that was supposed to be from a reputable shop, and thought he had a real Rolex. He had no clue for 5 years that his Rolex was. He thought that he had a good Rolex, and now he was trying to cash in on it. Now, to be honest, I think that he tried to cash in on it at a watch store, and they told him it was fake. And then he went to a pawn shop to see if he could get a second opinion. I don't know. But at some point in time, this dude thought he had a real Rolex.
Okay. On the wall.
Yeah.
Look at
Now, if I go into the next video, this is the next video I want to show you all.
But you said you didn't know these are fake.
No, I get it from somebody free. Also, it can feel the weight. It's no 100% heavy. And also, they match the serial number. So I'm not my sure.
You knew these were fake.
Kind of a fake.
Then why would you try to sell them to me?
I see if you price right. Do I ask a price?
But why would you try to sell them to me if you knew that they were fake, or even if you were thinking they're fake?
I know. I say you want to buy them.
That's why you didn't want to give me both of them together, because you knew I was going to look at the serial number.
If I would know, I'm not going to bring both. I was not going to say I bring both. I was going to say just bring one.
It doesn't make sense what you're saying.
I need to make sense, but I get it for free.
I understand you get it for free. You could listen. People get all sorts of things for free because it's a gift or something. But when you got those two for free, you're trying to pass them to me as real.
No.
Yes, you just told me. You said I got two genuine sealed.
Check.
That I say it's brand new, and you know that. And
So you didn't have any idea that they're fake.
How do we feel
be
about
honest
this
with
dude
my
that
life,
this dude
with my kids? I have to be
Bullshit.
I know. I noticed you have your family in the car. Your wife is in the back. I see everything. Everything's being recorded. The question is, those you knew that they were fake.
No.
First of all, the plastic's incorrect. 1, 2, the print.
This man has just been caught selling things. This man tried to pass off a fake pair of ear pods as real.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And when he was caught, and the dude called him out for doing what he tried to do, all of a sudden he plays ignorant. And then he tries to start playing the technical game with him. He starts trying to nitpick and saying, no, I didn't say this, I said that. It's this, not that. They were given to me, but I didn't know they were fake. Like, I got them for free from somebody that was close to me. All the bull, hold on. All the BS that we know that people that try to push fake products say. Stay with me now, because this goes for the sneaker community as well. This goes for the streetwear community as well. This goes for the luxury community as well. These are all the same BS tactics that they try to use. Oh, this is like a one of one. This is in the same factory. This is close, so you might as well say it's real. I need you all to look up the definitions of the words that these people try to use. Now, if you wear reps, you're fine. You're wearing reps, although it is still illegal to do that. You're fine. But for all of you rep people that try to sell reps, a hit dog will holler. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, and feel how you feel about it. Because at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. There is no gray area for this. But this is the same BS tactics that they will use. And then when you catch them, they will pivot. They will try to move the goalpost and try to validate what it is they're trying to do. There is no validation, buddy. And I showed the first video to show you the impact of the BS that they say on people who have no idea. That guy in the very first video I showed you walked into the store thinking that his Rolex was real, trying to sell it, trying to get a few extra dollars in this down economy. He paid $5,000 total for that watch, thinking it was real. And all he wanted was something close to it back, to find out that it was not real, because somebody fed him some BS narrative that it's one of one, that it's similar, that it's made in the same factory, that it's close, and it's not. It's not. Stop the cap. Rep sellers, rep perpetuators of the negative BS stereotype. Stop.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Stop the bullshit. It's getting to the point.
This shit is crazy as fuck, nigga.
You can't keep lying. You can lie to yourself. And I would say this. It is a lot of people who push reps. It is a lot of people who will swear up and down to you that they don't sell reps, and they do. They may not personally sell it, but they will hand it to other people to sell. And here's a message for every individual that does that, because this guy right here is a scumbag. And for the guy that paid $5,000 for a Rolex watch at a place where he thought was an actual jewelry store where he thought was selling him a reputable quality Rolex watch, he paid $5,000 only to find out that it was not real. And there's going to be some of you out there that are just going to be sitting there and that's what he gets. That's what he gets. Yeah. I hope you fall. I hope you fall and skin your knee and it hurts for a long time and it leaves a nasty scab and bruise. I'm just saying, because that is a fudged up mentality. That is a fudged up mindset. And I'm saying it here and now for anybody that does it. For all the people that are just wearing it just to wear it and wear reps and just to wear reps, I love y'all. Y'all are fam as far as I'm concerned. But the people that are doing bad things with those reps, here's a cautionary tale for you all. I mean, you might want to listen, but who am I? I'm just a man on a screen on YouTube that doesn't have a significant amount of followers in the eyes of the mass public. That's who I am. I'm HG. Take it or leave it. But via Sneaker Legal, I believe via Sneaker Legal on Instagram. If you don't believe me, you can go ahead and check this out yourself. So, one of the things that I'm going to quickly glance over, this says, I was wondering when they would do this. On April 9th, 2025, Nike finally applied to register the word air on footwear. First use listed on the application is October 28th. So, Nike has a patent on the swoosh. Nike has a patent on the silhouette. And Nike has a patent on putting the word air on shoes. Keep that in mind. And they're showing the different forms of air. Oh, Lord have mercy. Nike has been going on this crusade to just like really cut the head off the snake. So they've got a patent on the air that you would see on the Air Force One. They've got a patent on the air that you would see on the up-tempos. They've got a patent on the air that you would see on a pair of like Nike Reacts or their runners or workout shoes. They have a patent on the air and the swoosh together, basically covering themselves for the majority of the air logo. And there's an example of the Air Force Ones, the up-tempos, the air on, I think this is on like something like a React or 720, like the React 270s or 720s or models like that, or the DN8s or something like that. And then the Nike Air that you would see on the boxes and things like that. So they are basically covering all of their bases. Lil Titan said, these are unauthorized AirPods. The only difference is they are not sold by Apple. Facts. These are not sold by Apple. Yo, he said, that's how powerful the brand is. Y'all keep playing with Nike. Nike said they're going to show you something. The next thing I want to show you is, it says Nike scores partial trademark win against influencer over fakes. If you don't know who they're talking about, it is a rep influencer on YouTube that's been on YouTube for a long time. And there are a lot of them. I won't get into all the names. If you want to know, you'll find out yourself. If you knew, then you'll find them again. But this one in particular is talking about the influencer by the name of CDAS. I don't know how many of you all are familiar with him, but he is the dude that bought a pair of fake Air Force Ones, bought a pair of real Air Force Ones, and switched them out and took the fake pair of Air Force Ones back to I think it was like a Foot Locker store, to see if they could tell the difference and to see if he could get away with bringing back a fake pair of shoes. Also, there's another content creator by the name of Chance Dubernick. I believe that's his name. I'm not too sure. But he supposedly went to a store, an outlet or something like that, and found a returned pair of fake Air Force Ones. So this has been going on for a long time. This is nothing new to me. If this is new to you, welcome to the game. People have been buying fake shoes or getting fake shoes, buying the real, switching them out, getting the full refund, and, selling even the fakes later on down the line after they have worn them as used without the box, or selling them even brand new as brand new without the box or replacement box. But this is not new. This is old. If you all follow me on Instagram, homegrown_kicks, on my story, I did kind of a trolling of this where I said, Nike has been peeking in your Discords. Like, Nike took a break to, bring back innovation and throw out new ideas and give us the actual retros that we want in a reasonable amount of time. They took a break to kind of, bring the community back, especially after the fall in stock. But that does not mean that they forgot about you sewer dwellers. But they forgot about you scumbags. They've been watching your Discords. They've been watching your Instagrams. They've been watching your any social media platform. They've been listening to all of the new names that you've been coming up with or trying to, rebrand or nitpick or do the subtle little nuances too, which, by the way, all of them are wrong and don't make sense and lead back to the fact that it's illegal and that you all are spreading false information. But they've been watching. So there is no escape. And it's only a matter of time before you get caught. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but trust, it will happen. And I know some big rep reviewers that it's happened to. So via Sneaker Legal, it says Nike won a partial summary judgment in Florida, in the Florida courts last week against influencer pushing reps through a Discord. Now that influencer is CDAS. CDAS has been known to not really care. I don't know what kind of setup he got, what his living situation or financial situation is, but he's always been that influencer that has that I don't give a fudge mentality. And this case has been going on since, I would say, if I can remember correctly, since around 2020. And it's come to a partial conclusion in 2025 because he's the influencer that took a fake pair of Air Force Ones to a Foot Locker and returned them to see if he could get them returned, get a full refund, and for the system. Now, why he would do that, I don't know. But since then, he sparked a bunch of other influencers to do videos similar to that. So in the caption, it says, last week, Nike grabbed an early W on some of its claims for trademark infringement. So, and we all know Nike has a ton of trademark infringement lawsuits out there. Counterfeiting and contributory trademark infringement against a YouTuber and influencer who allegedly promoted the sale of reps through Panda Buy and other sites. Other claims will have to be heard by a jury at trial to be decided, but this case should send a message to those who openly sell or advertise reps in the US. So they've won part of their claim, and there's still more to go. So this is only the first L that he's taken. And I wonder how he feels about it. Ooh, I really wonder how he feels about that. And it's only more to go. In the comment section, it says, ooh, he done fudged up. Nike gonna get him for a few million damages. That's what you get for selling reps, playing stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Now let's get more into this because it also shows him in the Discord and all of that. It says Nike wins partial summary judgment. And it gives the case document Nike Inc. against Eben Fox. So that's C Dez's name. Eben. That's a weird ass name. Eben Fox. Wow. Okay. The claims are of sales of counterfeit Nike goods. Nike alleges that Mr. Fox distributed and sold multiple counterfeit Nike goods, the full extent of which is unknown, partly because Mr. Fox invoked the Fifth Amendment approximately 38 times during his deposition. So they asked him a series of questions, and he said, I plead the Fifth. I plead the Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, on my Dave Chappelle. He pleaded the Fifth on any questions and any charges, which, I mean, if you're guilty, I guess that's a smart way to go. But in this case, because they have miles and miles and miles of evidence, it doesn't bode you well, Mr. Eben. Now it says, this case should put a little fear into influencers in the rep market. Pay close attention. Effect and inconstable. Nike did not authorize or consent for Mr. Fox to use the Nike marks. Mr. Fox is self-described as one of the longest lasting replica content creators on social media. So they going from the top and working their way to the bottom. So like I said, you may not be today, you may not be tomorrow, but best believe they cut in the head of the snake off at the source and they working their way down to the tail. So get ready. Enjoy it while you can. Over the past 4 years, tried every agent, every seller, and purchased thousands of items, including content. He shared content about counterfeits, which Mr. Fox also refers to as reps, replicas, or fakes. So those are some of the names that they all try to use. Then it says he tried to use the defense that it wasn't him. It says, however, in this declaration, Mr. Fox asserts that another individual created a Discord account using Mr. Fox's handle and profile picture, impersonating him in the Bloomy Squad Discord server and posting and advertising items for sale in 2003. And he's saying he never sold or distributed any items. Well, guess what? Nike said that ain't good enough. So for anybody out there that receives a bunch of fakes and they hand them off to other people to sell for you, they own your ass. It still makes you liable, because when you send them off to other people to sell those fake shoes for you, because number one, it's illegal to receive fake, stolen, counterfeit, or copyright infringed upon items. It's illegal. And it's even more illegal to pass them off to somebody to sell them for you and receive money for them selling them for you. Ain't no way of getting out of that. Pay attention. According to Mr. Follett, Mr. Fox's Cash App transition records private evidence of sales of at least 8 pairs of counterfeit Nike shoes. The descriptions of the Cash App transactions contain references that Mr. Pallet attributes to the following Nike shoes: Air Jordan 4 Black Cat, SB Dunk Low Jedi, I don't even know what the hell that is, Dior Air Jordan 1 High OG, Nike Air Jordan 4 Retro Lightning, Nike SB Dunk Low Mummy from the Halloween collection, Ambush Nike Dunk High Chicago, Nike Fragment Design Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG, and the Nike Dunk Low Off-White Lot 28. So personally, they're going through your Cash App, your PayPal, your Zelle, your bank statements. They'll even catch you through Western Union, your Square, and any other forms of payment. You have nowhere to run. It says this will be interesting to find out about the role of these shipping agents, Panda Buy, Mule Buy, and All China Buy. Woo! So they're checking out your involvement with all of the rep Chinese markets too. Nike is not playing no games. It says Mr. Fox admits to the partnering with and entering into written agreements with Panda Buy, Mule Buy, and All China. He has no choice because his videos said that they were sponsored by those individuals. And as a matter of fact, before I got on the live to talk about this, I checked out his YouTube channel, and he went to another Chinese rep manufacturer or rep seller and is glorifying the purchase of reps. It doesn't matter if they're shoes, designer, pens, foot cleansers, hair care products, freaky items. If it's not authorized by the manufacturer, it's illegal. And CDAS continues to, I guess, I don't know, perpetuate the cycle that he doesn't care and then he's going to continue to promote these things. But okay, when they lock your ass up, we'll see how you feel about that. You'll be crying from behind federal bars. It says advertising can and will get you another reason to have an attorney on your team to run these slogans by before going live. Back to your regularly scheduled program and the facts from the case of the rep influencer. $270,000 he made from PandaBuy. The shipping agents financially compensate Mr. Fox for his promotional activities. So every time somebody who participates in buying and purchasing reps advertises a rep to you, they're getting it not only for cheaper than you're buying it for if you're buying reps. So they're lying to you and you're paying resale and they're getting for cheaper. Most of the time they're getting it for free. Not only are they lying to you, but they're getting paid to lie to you and set you up. How stupid do you feel? How stupid do you feel? And a lot of times they won't even do giveaways. A lot of the influencers, they sprinkle little crumbs here and there instead of just making it rain. And they're pulling in vast amounts of money. Trust me, I know for myself. I know behind the scenes because I know people. And then Mr. Fox tried to claim that it was for educational purposes and stuff like that. That's what they say. This is not to promote the selling. This is for educational purposes, yada, yada, yada. But then if you DM them, they'll give you the WhatsApp information. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, everybody I won't say everybody, but 90% of people who participate in reps and stuff like that.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
They full of bullshit, y'all. I mean, I know it's hard to trust some of the content creators who, quote unquote, do real pairs, but it's hard to trust them on the level that the early pairs that they are getting, that they are showing you, are retail pairs. Basically, they're just people who show reps as retail pairs. They're not trying to sell those reps to you. They're trying to sell an idea of what's to come to you. People that are full-fledged into reps and sell them to you all, they are selling you fucking lies. They are selling you lies.
And y'all dumbasses fell for it.
And anybody who buys rep,
and y'all dumbasses fell for it.
Y'all are falling for that shit. Because if they really supported you, if they really messed with you, they would go directly to, because they've got everything to lose. Because anybody who decides to buy reps, you could easily go to that rep content creator and anybody who deals and dabbles in reps heavily and does this. Y'all can get mad at me all you want to. I don't give two flying fucks. But anybody who wants to purchase reps, you could literally go to that individual that is selling or advertising that rep shoe to you and say, hey, I want these shoes. I need, instead of me going to them and going to their website and risking me losing my money or me not getting what I want, or me not getting all the items that are supposed to come with the shoe that I want you to go to that rep manufacturer and ask them for my size. And maybe I'm willing to pay you for your time, but I'm not going to pay you that resale price. I want the price that you get it for. Or I'm going to start blowing the whistle on you advertising fake shoes. It's just as easy as that. But nobody thinks about that. Nobody realizes that. Then it says incriminating yourself on videos and then posting those videos on YouTube is wild. A lot of rep wearers incriminate themselves on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of these social media platforms, thinking that they're going to be safe. And this is a cautionary tale to let you all know you all are not freaking safe. You all aren't safe. Now, am I threatening you all? No, I'm not threatening you all. But this is just showing you all are not safe. Lil Titan said, and my bad, I didn't see, I didn't, stay up on the comments, but I had to get through that. I had to get through that soapbox rant. But Lil Titan said, y'all think MK the Truth will get in trouble as well? Woo-wee. Do I think? Do I think he will get in trouble? Or has he already gotten in trouble? Ooh. Now, one of the individuals that's heavy in the rep community, y'all know him. I have nothing for sale. I have nothing against him. He has posted before documentation of when the feds came after him for selling fake products or advertising fake products. That's why he had to switch up. Lil Tight, to your question, if you pay attention to his content, the way he delivers, the new route of content that he puts out, the way that he speaks now, because for anybody that knows, he used to speak aggressively. And he used to say it with his chest. You know what I'm saying? Now he has like a less aggressive tone, a more so, it's up to you how you view it and how you want to take the information. Did you ever wonder why that is? Did you ever wonder why that is? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And when I say that,
look, I don't want no problems with nobody. I don't want no problems. I don't want to beef with nobody. I don't want drama. I don't want smoke with nobody.
Now, even though I say that, trust and believe, ain't no fear in your boy HG's heart. But I only speak the truth. I only speak what's out there. Now, if you want to bring the smoke to my front door and I deem it's necessary to talk about, then we'll talk about it. But we're going to talk about it as grown men first. You can call me, send me the proper message, and I'll check it out, respond to it, maybe, and if I deem it necessary for, it to be engaged in or spoke upon, then I'll do it. But I won't be baited into bullshit. If you want me to be baited into some bullshit, pay me. Pay me. Pay me for the clownage. Because clearly, as you all can see right here, they get paid to tell people who buy and wear reps a bunch of bullshit. They get paid handsomely, rigorously, and they just get paid. They get paid to do it. They get paid. Keegan McPeters said, salutes, man. Salutes to you, Keegan McPeters, man. Salutes to the family. 7,000 in the building. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share the live and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let me say that, because if you already hit the subscribe button, I don't need you to hit it again because it'll unsubscribe you. But if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. And if you already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you know every time your boy HG goes live. Lil Titan said he bent the knee. You said it, not me. I'm just reiterating what you said. HGK the truth now? Hold on. I don't know about that, but I do live vacation. Have made a mainstay in the realm of exposing lies, exposing the BS, and telling y'all the truth. I like to be as open, honest, and transparent as I possibly can. And I want every single person to hold me accountable for anything I say, because that's what comes when you get on social media. That's what comes with it. I have no problem with being wrong. What's going to happen if I'm wrong? What, y'all going to whoop my ass? Y'all going to whoop my ass? People are going to tell me I'm wrong. People are going to say nasty, negative things about me. What can they really say about me? I've pretty much heard it all. Now, if you come up with something new, I'll take my hats off to you, but like, I do get agitated. I do get annoyed. I'm not going to say I'm void of any emotions, but for the most part, like, I have thick skin. I mean, I'm sorry to tell y'all, I have thick skin and I will not be baited into BS. But, you know, this is for the rap community, man. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you.
I'm just out here telling the truth. Hey, thanks. Nah, I'm just HG. I'm just homegrown kicks. I'm just HGK. I am who I am. I'm not stealing anybody's name or riding on anybody's coattail. I'm always willing to share and be respectful. I don't bother nobody. I just talk about, you know, what's current, what's relevant, and what you all need to know to stay safe, protected, and take advantage of as many options in this sneaker space, in this small hemisphere, as you possibly can. So that's just me. Now, getting into a little something outside, because, like, I mean, we can talk about this for forever, and it's funny. Like, the rep community doesn't have much to talk about, but the retail community always has something to talk about. Notice how we didn't talk negative about people who wear reps. We just talk negative about people who do terrible things, who take advantage of, you know, who take advantage of people who don't know. And if anybody felt like I was talking about them or pulling a card or calling them out, then you just tell it on yourself. You tell it on yourself. What Lil Wayne say? Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Y'all think about what that means, man. Y'all think about what that means. All right. I'm just saying what I'm saying, man. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. But moving outside of that and just into a little bit of just like random conversation. A couple of days ago, we had the NFL draft. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. How many people are NFL sports fans out there? We had the NFL draft. There were some good picks. There were a lot of bad picks. This draft class was pretty deep in a lot of aspects as far as defensive players and wide receivers. Everywhere else, it was pretty barren. So if you needed something other than a wide receiver, a defensive back, maybe a safety, and defensive edge, you were pretty much screwed on this, which happened to be like a vast majority of NFL teams. They needed defense more than anything. My team, the Atlanta Falcons, cleaned up pretty well. Now, whether they're able to do something with this in the coming season is yet to be seen. But how do you feel about your team and how they did in the NFL draft? Like I said, my team did well. I talked about this joining Retro Rick's live. Shout out to Retro Rick and Maddie's Kicks. If you all aren't familiar with him, head over there on YouTube, Retro Rick and Maddie's Kicks. He also does the Retro Wheel on Instagram, where you can have an opportunity at gaining access to early pairs, and all you have to do is pay for a slot. It's $20 a slot. You can get as many slots as you want to increase your odds, but you know, it is what it is. And sometimes he also gives you an opportunity at a second chance retro wheel raffle entry. Larry G said, yo, man, what's good, Larry G? It's been a minute, fam. How you been? How you been, Larry G, man? What's been going on with you? We talked about a lot in tonight's live. We talked about a lot. We said a lot. If you weren't here earlier, late, man, no problem. If you weren't here earlier, you can play it back on YouTube or you can play it back on Spotify. We talked about Nike trying to pull one over on the masses, trying to sell Air Force Ones that come dirty and are supposed to get cleaner as you wear them, which doesn't make sense. We talked about open raffle entries for the Nike SB Dunk Black History Months, aka rodeos. We talked about the Travis Scott Jumpman Jacks. I forgot the name. I think that I'm not even going to try to make up a name, but we talked about them releasing soon as well. I showed a video of the impact of people selling fake products. I also showed a video of the impact of people trying to sell fake products and what that actually looks like, how idiotic they freaking look. I was able to tie it into how it affects people in the sneakerwear, streetwear, luxury brand community. So we talked about a few things. To me, it didn't seem like a lot, but when I recap it, we talked about like quite a few things. I've been a little busy, bro. That's all. Hey, no problem, man. Life is busy. If nobody understands more, I understand. I also, broke down, the truth to some of those individuals to let them know that Nike sees you all even though they trying to give the people, what they want, and also, do the usual kind of, dangle the carrot in front of the mule shit that they normally do. Through all of that, they still on a petty, man. They back on their bull. They never stopped with the bull. I showed off. Let me see. Let me get there. Let me see. In the beginning, I showed off these products from Secretlab. This is a bit of manifestation. These are products that goes on the Secretlab gaming chair. I don't have a Secretlab gaming chair. Like I said earlier, I've been thugging it out. This is a mobile toolbox kit with a blanket over the top of the handle, and the handle has been my back support. Hey, we thugging it out over here, man. Ain't no shame to my game. And the computer sits on top of a box, a moving box. Hey, it is what it is. And then I was giving a little shout out to Rejuvenator, and I was giving a little shout out to CreaseGuards. Shout out to CreaseGuards. When you purchase, you get 35% off, and you also get another free set of CreaseGuards. Just type in HomeGrown at the discount window, and you get all of that. And then Rejuvenator, they got all your sneaker cleaning needs, protective needs. At checkout, type in homegrown_kicks, and you're good to go. It helps you more than it helps me, but it helps me, and lets people know that we support each other and we're doing a good thing, and brings more to the channel. The more that we do, the more that we bring. Oh, he says sounds like a scam. It absolutely is a scam. Like, I don't want to say tonight has completely been about scams, but this is a PSA. If you don't know what PSA is, public service announcement about, you ain't safe. You're not safe. I think the Travis is a dope colorway. I like it. Okay. So I'm not alone. Finally, I'm not alone. A lot of people said they would pass on the Travis Scotts. I do understand. They're not for everybody, but finally, somebody that says that they're on board with these. I spoke about how, a lot of people say that they're not on board with it. But when it comes down to that final minute on release day, they trying to cop. A lot of BS propaganda. A lot of BS propaganda from the rep community. Absolutely. I was going to say a box. But yeah, now, if you want to go back and listen to the playback on Spotify, just look me up on Spotify and Soul Source. If you don't already follow me on Spotify, I'm there. I think it's labeled as JG. Let me see. And this is where things start to slow down and get complicated because oh look, hold on. It pops up already. Let me see. So this way I can show you all what to look for before I actually share. Let me see how much of the screen it's shared. Boom. Okay. That's cool. I drop myself to the bottom. Left-hand corner, my left, your right, depending on how you look at it. Spotify.com or your Spotify app, Soul Source, right there. JG. So you don't have to have a video playing in the background using extra battery. However you decide to watch it, you can just go to Spotify and just listen in on the conversation. Spotify also allows you to go ahead and play back the YouTube video if you want to. Now, I haven't uploaded the last 2 lives yet, but I'm going to load up this live and last week's live if I hadn't uploaded that already tomorrow morning. So if you want to listen to tonight's live, It'll be on Spotify in the morning, and if not, you can just go to YouTube and just do the playback like that. But as you can see, there are multiple live streams and conversations that are had that can be listened to. Let me tell you, I got content, I got episodes, and it's all thanks to y'all. Don't forget also, we hadn't had a caller in tonight, but anybody that wants to call in and join the conversation, I have a call-in line where the family can hear you on YouTube. All you have to do is hit me up on Instagram at homegrown_kicks. I do understand that not everybody has Instagram. So I think for future references, I'm going to come up with a call-in number. I do have access to a free line given my mobile service, so I might actually take that free line, get a free phone, and allow you all to have access to me that way and call in. Now, of course, once the lives are over, that phone line will be turned off. So, you want to prank call, BS me, you can do it, but it's not going to disturb me because that line will be cut off when the lives go off. But I'm trying to make this more interactive. I'm trying to make it more personal and do something that no other content creator or sneaker content creator has or will do. You mostly see that done on the radio. So yeah. That sale vote in black is cold. Facts. I agree with you. Now, getting in on, let me find it. Let me not show no inbox. Not that I have anything to hide in my inbox, but we were talking about the NFL. How did your team fare as far as the NFL draft? I'm good with my team and what they did, but only time will tell. Now, the biggest thing in the NFL draft is Shedeur Sanders, the slide that Shedeur Sanders had. There's been a lot of information to come out over the last 3 days, over the last 72 hours. And this is no different from NFL people saying that he disrespected the NFL with the interview process. They said he had like a certain attitude, like a smug attitude. I say it's confidence. There's nothing wrong with confidence. To him purposefully tanking interviews and things like that. Like, what are your theories on why Shedeur Sanders slid in the draft? Then we had the new defensive or the returning defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. If the Atlanta Falcons needed any more, any more negative attention, because of course we've had like a lot of scrutiny over the last couple of years with tampering and all that other kind of stuff. And this is new for our organization because we've never been in trouble like that. But if just to add fuel to the fire, Atlanta Falcons returning defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbricht's son gained access to his tablet, got Shedeur Sanders' number, gave it to somebody else, and they prank called Shedeur Sanders during his draft experience. And I'm going to paraphrase the conversation. He pretended to be the GM of the New Orleans Saints. I don't remember who the GM is, Loomis or somebody like that, but he pretended to be the GM of the New Orleans Saints, calling Shedeur Sanders. They had a conversation. Shedeur Sanders was like, yeah, I can't wait, to be a part of the organization. I'm happy to be a part of the organization. And then he follows up Shedeur Sanders' response with, well, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Just the utmost disrespect. If it wasn't bad enough that NFL teams were trying to send a message to Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, and Deion Sanders by allowing him to slide this far, then this kid played, and that wasn't even a joke, but this kid orchestrates this BS. And the problem is, these are phones that they handed out to draft prospects. The league handed out to draft prospects via Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile's partnership with the NFL, and they handed out these phones, and these were phone numbers that only NFL teams had. So these weren't personal phone numbers that the players had already. These were phone numbers that were only specially given to coaches and coordinators. Now, you might ask, well, why do the coordinators or coaches need it? Why does anybody other than the GM need this number? Well, if you all are familiar with the draft process, offensive and defensive coordinators, as well as coaches and anybody else in between that wants to intervene, they ask all types of questions, from normal, weird, to out of this world questions before, during, and after the draft. It just is what it is. So yes, Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coach or defensive coordinator, had access to the telephone number. Now, since then, Jax Ulbrich has put out what I feel like is a forced apology on social media. Now, Jeff Ulbrich, on the other hand, I feel like he put out a sincere apology. Saying a lot of things. And I know he will put out an apology to save his job, his ass, and his career. But there has been new information about Shedeur Sanders that has come out that said that the league blackballed this kid. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Owners ordered teams to remove Sanders from the draft. Let me repeat that. Owners ordered teams to remove Sanders from the draft board.
Took him off because the owner said take him off. I don't want that guy. Shedeur Sanders just torpedoed himself. His attitude off the field at the combine, his dad didn't help him either. He was on podcast talking about, this is my son. If I can get him to where I want to get him to, I'm going to do that. But, when you listen to this kid talk right prior or at the combine about, if you want a new culture in your locker room, I'm the guy to do that. I can turn it around. I mean, he's very high on himself. And I think he was very off-putting to many, many coaches and general managers in the league. And I'm telling you right now, and I know this after talking to 3 different personnel people in the NFL this weekend, they didn't even have him on their board. They took him off.
Shit.
And they took him off because the owner said take him off. I don't want that guy. I don't want this entitled person on our team. And I don't blame them. They took him off. And they took him off because the owner said take him off. I don't want that guy. Shedeur Sanders just torpedoed himself. His attitude off the field at the combine, his dad didn't help him either. He was on podcast talking about, this is my son. If I can get him to where I want to get him to, I'm going to do that. But, when you listen to this kid talk right prior or at the combine about, if you want a new culture in your locker room, I'm the guy to do that. I can turn it around. I mean, he's very high on himself. And I think he was very off-putting to many, many coaches and general managers in the league. And I'm telling you right now, and I know this after talking to 3 different personnel people in the NFL this weekend, they didn't even have him on their board. They took him off. And they took him off because the owner said take him off. I don't want that guy. I don't want this entitled person on our team. And I don't blame them. They took him off.
Okay. Boomer Esiason, Ohio 1986 said, good evening, my fellow sneakerheads, man. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are. however you are tuning into this. Ohio, we talked about it a lot. I just recapped it with Larry G. If you want to go to Spotify over on Soul Source, you'll find me under JG as well, and catch up and recap and give all of your thoughts and opinions there. Or if you want to watch it on YouTube on the recap, I highly recommend you do that, because I talked about some raffles that are very important. I talked about the up and coming releases and stuff like that that people might have forgot about. So it's up to you. It's always up to the fam what they want to do. You said you're at work. LOL, man. Get to the money, man. Get to the money is always important, because if you can't get to the money, man, you can't get these sneakers, man. That's the first thing that matters. But Boomer Esiason. Now, Average said, I didn't hear one lie he just said about Sanders during his interviews. So, since when did confidence become arrogance or a problem? Now, if he tanked his interviews personally, like, I want to question, how did he tank his interviews? Right is right, wrong is wrong. Where do we draw the line between confidence and cocky? Deion Sanders was a very confident NFL player in the 90s. A lot of people said he was cocky when he was doing what he did, but he backed it up. And nobody knew that he was going to be able to back it up until he was given an opportunity. Now, of course, Deion didn't have a father behind him, like pushing the narrative, but like the song goes, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it, and you know the rest. When I say that, let me give you all points of reference. Eli Manning. Archie Manning, and I talked about this on the Retrovision podcast. Archie Manning was quoted before the draft saying the similar things that Deion was saying about his son. Not only did he say those similar things, but he followed through when, I think, with Eli or Archie, whichever one was chosen by like the Chargers or something like that. And Archie was like, oh no, we're not doing that, which is how his son got traded to either the New York Jets or the Indianapolis Colts. Nobody saw a big issue when Archie Manning did. Now, of course, the son wasn't as outspoken as Shedeur Sanders, but the son agreed with his father that he did not, just want to go to any old team. And let me see if I can find a clip of what they said Shedeur Sanders was talking about. I think I found it, but I'll play that in just a second. But nobody said that Archie Manning and Eli or even Peyton were a problem. 30 or 40 years later, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem when they do. Ever said it's different in being confident and cocky. Cam was confident during his interview, but Sanders was more on a cocky side. I don't know how cocky Shedeur was because there is no video evidence of Shedeur's interview. They put out everything else that Shedeur has done, but they didn't put out any videos of this egregious cockiness that Shedeur showed during his draft interviews. They've also said that he was disrespectful and disrespected the draft process, but they don't show how he disrespected the draft process. Even Cam Ward told him during one of their training sessions he needed to calm down and be more confident and not cocky. Why does that picture of Shedeur look like Lamar Jackson and Shedeur put together? Hey, it does. Now, Deion was very good at Florida State University. Unlike Shedeur, he was an okay player at best. Shedeur was more than an okay player at best. He took a JUCO league, Jackson State University, to their first bowl game. That's more than okay. That's more than okay. Then he went with his father to a program, Colorado State, that hadn't seen a Heisman Trophy winner or a bowl game in over 10 and a half decades or 15 years, 15 or so years, with mediocre receivers other than Travis Hunter, a bad defense, and a bad offensive line. That's better than okay. Like, we got to look at it for what it is. That's better than okay. Despite, like, what you want to say about the media circus, that's better than okay. Now, is he like a Lamar Jackson or somebody like that? No, he's not. But with so many teams needing a solid quarterback, Shedeur Sanders is a solid quarterback to a backup. Did he deserve to slide all the way to the 5th round? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if anybody wants to make any further point, let me hit you with this. Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel. Okay, yeah, you may say Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. Why didn't Shedeur get the Heisman? Travis Hunter. But Shedeur was in the Heisman Trophy running. You had Shedeur Sanders, you had Travis Hunter, you had Genty, and somebody else, but they rounded out the top 5 in Heisman Trophy candidacy. But again, Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was a problem in the NFL. He was cocky, not confident, and a lot of people tried to cover for his arrogance, for his cockiness. He was already coming from a rich, successful background, but nobody said it was an issue about Johnny Manziel. And they drafted Johnny Manziel higher. And that goes for a couple of other quarterbacks. So what is the excuse now? There is no excuse. Go back and check Eli and Peyton Manning's interviews, though. They were never cocky with it. But that's what I said. I already said that Eli and Peyton might not have said anything out loud, but they did agree with their father. And their father was the voice of cockiness, confidence, and entitlement. That doesn't change a thing. That changes absolutely nothing. So, I mean, you can keep throwing that out there all you want to, but that changes nothing. Now, there's a lot of interview videos out there about Shedeur. Well, link me to the videos. Send me a link of the videos. And if you send it to me before the live is over, I'll play it. I'll show it to them. If not, then I'll do it maybe in a live sometime this week. I won't do it next week, but I'll do it in a live sometime this week. We'll talk about just like NFL stuff. Don't get fooled by the stats, bro. People have to actually watch the game. I did watch the games. I know you ain't trying to tell me I didn't watch the games. I watched every single Colorado Buffalo game. I was one of those people to watch the games to see if it was actual gold or if it was fool's gold. Shador performed. Did he perform without issues? No. Shador holds the ball a little bit too long to try to make plays happen. Is Shador fast in terms of scrambling? No, he's not. Shador wanted to show the ability at pocket presence. Shador is like a it was best said by Kurt Benkert. If you don't watch his YouTube channel, go ahead and check him out because he talked about Shador Sanders and his playing style. He's a cross between Ryan Tannehill and somebody else he mentioned. And I absolutely agree with that. He doesn't have blazing speed when it comes to extending the plays. He doesn't have a big arm. He does have zip on the ball, but he also has good pocket presence. Does he have the tendency to hold the ball too long? Yes. Does he have a long throwing motion? Somewhat. But man, don't act. Hey, we ain't finna sit here and act like I didn't watch those games. A lot of those games, they were still in the game because of Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter. So yeah, we ain't finna play that. We ain't finna go with that. His wide receiver group was not mediocre. His wide receiver group was mediocre. Who did he have? Other than Travis Hunter, and then if you kind of look at it beyond the numbers, Joe Horn Jr. Who else did he have? Did he have a tight end? No. The wide receiver group is 3, not 2. 3, not 2. 4 even, but not 2. Because 2 wide receivers can be covered. You need at least 3 to take the attention off of one or the other. So please tell me. Now, Shador was not in the Heisman running. It was Travis. Okay. So Shador was considered for Heisman. But like I said, he was not in the top 5. The Heisman running is top 4. But he was considered as a possible Heisman candidate. So what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? No, he didn't get invited to the Heisman, to the Heisman, what you call it. But I never said he was invited. I said he was considered. He was a possible candidate. I wonder if this could be grounds for a lawsuit. The owners conspired against him, and he lost out on millions. I don't know. It possibly could. Joe Blow, LOL, as wide receiver number 3. Facts. Facts. He didn't have a good receiver core. He had a mediocre receiver core. Once you took Travis Hunter out of the game, like, do you really think you could rely on the other receivers to get the job done? Which is why they did a lot of screen plays. And a lot of the screen plays were to Travis Hunter. But I didn't watch the game, y'all. I didn't watch. One of their toughest games of the season was against the Kansas City Jayhawks. Travis Hunter had 8 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 80% of the 125 yards that he had came from screenplays. The run after the catch, pure effort plays. One of those touchdowns he had was on busted coverage by number 2 defensive back and the safety. And he squeaked in between those two. They lost 37-21. That was one of their biggest competitions throughout that season. Nebraska was another one of the competitions that one of their biggest competitions that they were up against. So I very well watched the season, and I watched their playing style. And they had to screenplay for the majority of the season because they didn't have valid receivers to throw to. They didn't have downfield threats. They didn't have a tight end. They didn't have a running back. They didn't have a real offensive line. They had Travis Hunter. They seemingly had Joe Horn Jr., no relation to Joe Horn, and whoever else the other dude was. So since you mentioned his playing style, do y'all not think that doesn't play a factor in him getting drafted? Let's be for real. If it wasn't for Deion, we wouldn't be talking about Shedeur right now in a draft. That's very true. If it wasn't for Deion, we wouldn't be talking about Shedeur. But if it wasn't for Archie Manning, we wouldn't have been talking about Peyton. Peyton's first year, I'm going to get you with this one. So I need you to pay attention. Peyton's first year in the NFL, he threw for 3,000 passing yards. He had a decently high percentage completion. He threw 26 touchdowns. But this is what's going to kick you in the ass. He threw for 28 interceptions. 28 interceptions in his first year in the NFL. It took him 3 seasons to do better. Come on now. Come on. Johnny Manziel. Do I need to say more? I don't even need to rattle off and make light of Johnny Manziel's stats. Those are the 2 comparable situations. Lil Titan said, "What's good, average?" On top of that, his O-line was turnstile. Facts. So watching film, we don't know how good of a quarterback he is because of that. So maybe the owners was looking at the fact that they don't know if he can make NFL type throws. It's crazy how that's not mentioned. But he showed he can make NFL type throws. When it came to quarterbacks, okay, so let's talk about what it is that the NFL was looking for when it comes to prototypical quarterbacks. Before they accepted the Warren Moons and the Michael Vicks and things like that, because the Warren Moons and the Michael Vicks and the Donovan McNabbs paved the way for Johnny Manziel's, for Trevor Lawrence's and things like that. So let's talk about what the prototypical style of quarterback was. The prototypical style of quarterback was intelligent, which they said we could not do, that we were not capable of. They said we weren't capable of that. Then they said the prototypical quarterback had to have pocket presence, the ability to be able to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. So Shedeur Sanders showed that in those games, he could read defenses to some degree. Better than Johnny Manziel. Better than a lot of quarterbacks that or players in general with problems or, you know, like, what do they call it? Confidence, detrimental confidence things to the league. He could read the NFL better than those players, and they still drafted those players high. He showed that he had pocket presence, and he showed that he could deliver the ball even under terrible circumstances. So what are you really saying? What are you saying? Then we usher in a new era, so to speak, of quarterbacks that could extend the plays outside the pocket, but could still do that. I.e., your Lamar Jacksons, your Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, and things like that. Would I put him up there with those individuals? No, I wouldn't. No, absolutely not. Given the spiral of Lamar Jackson, I kind of second guess Lamar Jackson. Jaden Daniels, only time will tell. Trevor Lawrence, he's spiraling too. Just so you know, he's spiraling too. So that's an open-ended question as well. Would I put him up there with those individuals? No. But with the aforementioned individuals, maybe, and I say that lightly, but they still got drafted first round. And even the ones that aren't that good with the same issues, they got drafted first round. This was an attempt to go beyond, in my estimation, this was an attempt to go beyond the regular NFL. This was an attempt to be personal, a vendetta, for whatever reason, that wasn't warranted. He said, see, I respect you because you at least talking about his gameplay. Yeah. I look at things like I look at shoes. I'm going to do as much research as I can. And I'm always going to admit when I don't know something. But I'm not going to bullshit you all on anything and make it look like it's something that it's not. When I say all of this, do I believe that Shedeur Sanders was a first-round talent? If I look at all of these other individuals, and I look at the individuals that came before him with some of the same kind of issues or same kind of questionables that went before him, yes, he is a first-round talent. If I look at it personally, would I say he's a top 10 talent in the first round? No. Would I say that he's a bottom-end talent, especially with as many teams that need quarterbacks? I would absolutely say that he's a bottom-end, back-of-the-draft talent, especially with all these teams that need quarterbacks. If I had to gauge Shedeur Sanders, to be honest, like if I wiped out all of the quarterbacks that he's better than that went in the first round that had some of the same knocks on them as far as like personality wise, if I erased all of those and then I erased the other things that I mentioned, where would I honestly draft Shedeur Sanders? I would probably put him in like the back half of the third, maybe fourth round. And maybe not even back half of the third, maybe like the middle half of the third, outside of the top 10 to like the fourth quarter. But when you key in all of those other factors that I mentioned beforehand, you gotta be fair. You gotta be fair. You said, and you see how long Johnny Manziel football lasted, but it's not about how long he lasted. It's about where he was taken, especially given all of those preconceived personality issues. He didn't really care for the game. Nobody says Shedeur didn't care for the game. Nobody says Shedeur lacked size. Nobody says Shedeur lacked football knowledge. Nobody says Shedeur lacked the things that they said Johnny Manziel lacked. But Johnny Manziel lacked a lot of things as far as a NFL quarterback and had the personality issues, like they said, and they still drafted him in the first round. You can't deny that. Louis Tyson said the NFL just wanted to show they're bigger than the Sanders. Yes. Yes. And then what they did was they found all of these other things that they've let slide in previous years. They found all of these other things that they could say and nitpick on to substantiate why they were trying to blackball him. Like I said again, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You know the rest. Now, the social media continues to beat a horse when it's down, beat a dead horse when it's down. This says the Toronto Argonauts have added Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders to their negotiation list. Canadian League. I guess if it works for them. Let me see if I can find that video. Because let me see. That was the prank on Shedeur Sanders. Let me see. What was this one?
Trey.
That was the prank.
Dad was our agent, but that hasn't been working out too good.
That was Shiloh saying, and that was another thing. They were set to turn sons against their father. That was Shiloh saying that he fired his dad as their agent. Shedeur, as a 5th round draft pick, dropped from possible $20 million to $6.5 million, and Shedeur going undrafted dropped to $4.6 million. Now, Shedeur is Shiloh is a whole other story. Shiloh is not that great, in my opinion. Shiloh is average at best, but I mean, that's left up to the public opinion. Let me see if I can find it. Bro, I wish I could find it. I mean, the NFL and the media tried to make this a public stoning. But basically, it's a video of Shedeur saying that if a team really wanted him, they'll pick him. That if they pick him, they'll pick him if they're looking for something different and new, and that when he comes in, he'll come in and change the culture.
They took him off.
If you're trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people gotta say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people gotta say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
Now, if this is what people are talking about as the fine line between cocky and confident, you gotta be fucking kidding. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So if anybody has any other videos to say otherwise, I heard nothing cocky about what this kid said. He said, if you want to change the culture of a franchise, then draft me. If you don't want that, then don't draft me. What's wrong with that? He said, do you think I care about what critics say? I don't care about what critics say. I've proven them wrong time and time again. Then he said, they hated on my dad. He said, do you know who my dad is? They hated on my dad. So hate is expected from people because of who I am and who my dad is. If you think that that's cocky, get the fuck out of here, man.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. And y'all dumbasses fell for it.
Now, until I've shown otherwise, that don't sound cocky to me. That just sounds like somebody who has been taught to believe in himself, understand what it is he can and cannot do, and be confident in his abilities of what he can and cannot do, and leave the rest up to other people. That doesn't sound cocky to me. What the heck? Yeah, if y'all think that's cocky,
this shit is crazy as fuck, nigga.
That's cocky.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
I mean, if that's cocky, then I'm cocky as hell. If that's cocky, I'm cocky as hell, because I get on these lives every Tuesday. When I drop content with the belief in myself, with the belief that I'm putting out the best possible content that I can make and the content that you all want to see. If that makes me cocky, then fuck, I'm cocky. I'm cocky as hell. Cock-a-doodle-doo, mother sucker. Call me cocky. But this doesn't bode as cocky to me. And if this is all that the media and everybody else has, this reference point that they have, or that they're going to display, then this just goes to say that this was beyond his talent, what he could actually do. This goes beyond him just believing in himself. This is, saying that we're going to show you that no matter how big you get, you ain't big enough. Because Archie Manning, man, please. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing over and over. I ain't going to keep saying the same thing. They want him going in there talking about, yes, Massa. Absolutely. Now, that might work and be okay for some other quarterbacks, but he wasn't raised that way. He was not raised to not have any belief in himself. I thought that's what people wanted from the quarterback position, to have a strong mental, to believe in themselves, to have to quickly forget and be able to excel at the next play. Man, get out of here. Sorry, but he ain't AI. Yeah. Nah, AI changed the basketball culture. Well, I think what he means by when he says change the culture, because he thought he was going in the first round. When you go in the first round, you go to a bad team that absolutely needs the position that they draft in the first round. For example, Jacksonville jumped up to the number 2 spot, and they drafted Travis Hunter. Jacksonville absolutely needed a receiver. Jacksonville absolutely needed a cornerback, especially given the fact that they got rid of Jaden Ramsey, whatever his name is, his first name. They're planning on getting rid of Ramsey. So those two positions were a position of need. Who drafted first? Let me look. Miami needed a quarterback, so they drafted Cam Ward. The New York Giants definitely needed a quarterback, but they went with edge because they needed defense as well. The New England Patriots, they need a quarterback. They went offensive tackle. Cleveland Browns, they went with defensive tackle Mason Graham. Come on now. Cleveland needed a defensive tackle over a quarterback. The Oakland Raiders, they selected Ashton Genty at number 6. The Jets, Armand Membu, offensive tackle. Ashton Genty was a running back with Oakland. The New Orleans Saints, offensive tackle. The only team thus far that didn't need a quarterback is the Chicago Bears, and they drafted a tight end. The San Francisco 49ers drafted Michael Williams, edge out of the University of Georgia. The Dallas Cowboys definitely needed a quarterback. The Miami Dolphins at 13 definitely needed a quarterback. The Indianapolis Colts definitely needed a quarterback. The Falcons at 15, I don't know. We're in like limbo, and we're at let's wait and see. But Seattle Seahawks, quarterback, and so on and so forth. You all know. But the first 14 picks needed a quarterback, especially considering the fact that a quarterback is the most important position on a football field. In the game of football, quarterback is the most important position. So what he meant by changing a culture is he could step in to a team where they were in dire need of a quarterback because the quarterback wasn't that good and improve the quarterback situation. Out of all of those teams that I listed, do I believe that he could have improved the quarterback position? Absolutely, for at least 5 of those teams. 5 of the 14 teams, I believe he could have been better, if not just as good. So that's what he meant. Now, was he saying that he was transcending and is going to change the game at the quarterback position like a Lamar Jackson or a what's his name over in Kansas City, Kermit the Frog? No, that's not what he was saying. But he's saying he could improve the situation for a team that needed a quarterback. So, I mean, I agree with you, kind of, sort of, but yeah, like this was more than just his skill, and this was more than just cockiness. I believe, to be honest, they made up the whole thing about cockiness until shown otherwise. They made up the whole thing about cockiness, and if this is what they have to show as far as him being cockiness, then I mean they're full of shit. But that's all I got for y'all tonight. We had a good show. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing up and showing out. I appreciate everyone for coming in and having a conversation. Little Titan, Ohio, true to size. Average. Who else? Larry G. Who else? Keegan. I appreciate you. Did I say true to size? Yes, I did. I did say true to size. But everybody that came through showed love and support. I appreciate you all. As always, that was tonight's live. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all got some informative information. Be safe out there. Don't be sorry, because it's a lot of people trying to pull scams and trying to pull the wool over your eyes, including these big name brand companies. If you all were not able to be privy for the full live, head over to Spotify at Soul Source or JG. If you don't want to listen to the actual video or watch the actual video, do that. Willing to let the video play and listen to it in the background, feel free to hit the playback button after the live is over. Follow me on all of my other social media platforms. Instagram, homegrown_kicks, where I am vocal there at least like 45% of the time. Follow me on TikTok. I'm vocal there as well, very active. Follow me on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter. That's still hard to get out there. Blue Sky, I think I said Facebook. Reddit. I always forget about Reddit for some reason. I don't know. I'm really active on Reddit. I like arguing on Reddit. Don't forget, if you want to save money on sneaker cleaner, sneaker protector, and all your other needs, head over to Rejuvenator. If you want to get crease guards and duffel bags for your shoes, or duffel travel bags for your clothes and shoes at a really good price, head over to CreaseGuards.com. Type in my promo code HomeGrown. It'll save you 35%. Shout out to Future Manifestation for a chair for when we do the lives and when I do the videos. That's what this is for, by Secretlab. Shout out to Secretlab. I've heard good things about them, and hopefully those good things will be seen in the future. I don't know. But with that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And remember, nothing is impossible. Fight for everything you believe in. Don't let anything stand in your way, and dream hungry. Hey, I'm here if you need me. I'm here if you need me. I'm always trying to tell you the truth. I'm always trying to give you a non-biased opinion as much as I can. Again, I love y'all. Thank y'all. And until next time, again, I will catch you all later. Peace. It was a great one, y'all. Man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.